Imagine standing in a room where a single declaration could shatter years of family tradition. That's exactly where I found myself one Sunday morning, surrounded by the fervent whispers of a family devoted to their extreme beliefs. The air was thick with anticipation as we sat in my in-laws' dining room. My mother-in-law, the self-appointed matriarch, sat at the head of the table, her eyes boring into mine with an intensity that could melt steel. For years, she tried to mold us into her vision of a devout family. Her church was everything, a beacon of light she insisted everyone must follow. But what happened next would change everything. To set the stage, picture a town where Sundays were synonymous with sermons. The church was an old structure, its steeple piercing the sky, bells tolling in rhythmic summons. Inside, the congregation sat with bated breath. The atmosphere was electric as they shared their most intimate confessions aloud. Once, a man confessed his wife's sin was enjoying sex, and that was enough for me to know this was not my kind of place. Beside me, my wife, subtle and serene, respected her mother yet held her own beliefs. Our lives were a dance of faiths, two different tunes trying to harmonize without stepping on each other's toes. But it was her mother, a fervent zealot, who orchestrated the family's fate with an iron fist. Every visit was a script she expected us to follow, like actors in a morality play penned by her. When Sundays rolled around, her expectations were clear. "When are you coming to church?" she'd ask, voice dripping with the sweet poison of obligation. The pressure was mounting, and I couldn't ignore it forever. As the tension simmered, I found myself trapped in a web of duty and defiance. My wife's subtle nudges to keep the peace clashed against my growing resolve to break free from her mother's grasp. In that moment of conflict, a realization struck me, like a bolt of divine inspiration. If she insisted I attend her church, then surely, when she visited us, she'd join me at mine. Now, that was a revelation. With renewed confidence, I faced my mother-in-law, her eyes alight with righteous intent. "I understand your demand," I told her, keeping my voice steady, "but there's a slight twist to your plan." Her eyes narrowed, suspicion flickering like candlelight. "Oh?" she answered. The room suddenly hushed as if the very walls were holding their breath. And that's when things got truly interesting. The silent challenge hung in the air like an invitation to a duel. "I agree to attend your church," I started, my words a careful dance. "But when you visit us, it's only fair you join us at mine." Her face morphed into a tableau of horror, as if my suggestion was something out of a nightmare. The silence that followed was thick, palpable, broken only by the ticking of an unseen clock. "You can't be serious," she sputtered, her voice a mix of disbelief and indignation. But I was, and I stood my ground, feeling the room tilt ever so slightly in my favor. The family watched on, expressions ranging from shock to admiration, the faintest hint of a smile playing on my father-in-law's lips. It was like witnessing a seismic shift in the family dynamic. I looked my mother-in-law in the eye, challenging her to refuse. "It's only fair, isn't it?" I insisted, my voice carrying the weight of years of suppressed independence. Her response was a resigned sigh, a rare admission of defeat from someone who rarely backed down. "Fine," she agreed, her tone laced with the bitterness of surrender. The room exhaled collectively, a tension released. The family resumed their chatter, the moment fading into the tapestry of family lore. But for me, it was a victory etched in time. Years passed, and every visit was free from the chains of church obligations. My father-in-law, in a rare moment of camaraderie, commended me for being the only one to ever stand up to her. The stories of her children's antics hiding booze and weed like contraband in a border crossing became a family joke, a testament to the lengths they'd go to avoid her wrath. Our house became a sanctuary where I no longer needed to tread carefully around her expectations. It was a place of peace, where our children could grow without the looming shadow of her disapproval. Reflecting back, I marvel at the power of a simple logic that turned the tide. I still can't believe that standing firm in my beliefs made such a profound difference. This showdown of values taught me that some battles, though fraught with tension, are worth fighting, and that sometimes logic is the sharpest sword in a battle of wills. To everyone out there facing similar situations, remember, you have a voice. Use it wisely, and you might just change the fabric of your family forever. Would you have done the same in my shoes, or taken a different route? Let me know in the comments. Stories like these are common, but our reactions can be unique. And if you think this was intense, wait until you hear about the time my wife's cousin tried to defy her church in a way that left everyone speechless. But that's a story for another time. Can you believe this? Right after our last conversation, my Mill showed up at our door, clutching a Bible like it was some kind of shield. Her eyes were filled with a mix of desperation and determination. "You need this," she declared, thrusting it towards me. My heart sank at the confrontation I knew was about to unfold. What would you have done if someone barged into your home like that? The conversation escalated quickly. "You just don't understand how important this is," she cried, her voice cracking. I felt my partner tense beside me, torn between loyalty and disbelief. "I understand perfectly," I replied calmly, but inside I was trembling. My words seemed to hang in the air, thick with tension. "It gets even crazier from here. Suddenly, my partner spoke up, their voice strong and unwavering. Mom, you can't force us to believe what you believe. Their words seemed to pierce through the heated atmosphere. Silence. The look of betrayal on my Mill's face was almost unbearable. Could you have stood up to your family like that? In a dramatic twist, she turned to leave, but not without a parting shot. I just hope you find your way before it's too late, she warned ominously, like some TV villain. I almost expected the door to slam dramatically behind her, but it simply clicked shut. How do you even process such a confrontation? After she left, the air felt charged with unspoken words and mixed emotions. We sat together, reeling from the encounter. My partner looked at me, half apologetic, half relieved. I'm sorry it went this far, they murmured. I squeezed their hand, sharing a silent understanding. Did this outcome surprise you too? Days turned into weeks, and we heard nothing from Mill. Each phone call that went unanswered added another layer of tension. Was this the calm before the storm, or was she truly giving us space to breathe? It felt like the eye of a hurricane. What would her next move be? Then, unexpectedly, we received a letter in the mail. My partner's face paled as they opened it, revealing a heartfelt apology from MIL. I'm sorry for pushing my beliefs on you, it read. The words felt genuine, a possible olive branch. Could this be the resolution we never dared hope for? But just when we thought it was over, she added, I hope we can find a way to respect each other's beliefs. It was a start, and I couldn't help but feel a flicker of hope. Could this mean a fresh start for all of us? Would you accept this apology? We decided to meet on neutral ground, a cozy cafe where tensions might be softened by the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. As we exchanged pleasantries, there was an air of tentative peace. Could this be the breakthrough we'd all been hoping for? The possibility lingered in the air. Over cappuccinos and pastries, we talked, really talked. Understanding flowed with every sip, and for the first time, it felt like we were listening to each other. The barriers slowly crumbled, replaced by mutual respect. How often do we get such profound moments of clarity in life? In the weeks that followed, the change was almost magical. Conversations that once sparked arguments now brought laughter and understanding. The tension between us eased, replaced by a newfound connection. Looking back, it seemed almost surreal. Would you have believed this was possible after such a dramatic beginning? Reflecting on the journey, I realized the power of standing firm while remaining open-hearted. This saga taught us the importance of maintaining boundaries without shutting the door to reconciliation. How often do we get the chance to rewrite our stories like this? I knew we were lucky. Family gatherings became less about conflict and more about companionship. There were still awkward moments, but those were overshadowed by our shared willingness to grow. Each encounter was another chance to build our relationship anew. Can you imagine such a dramatic transformation? One day, we joined my Mill for a community event at her church, not out of obligation, but curiosity and support. It was a significant step for us all. There was no pressure, just an opportunity to understand each other better. How often do we find such harmony? The experience brought us closer than ever before. It was a small but meaningful gesture that showed our willingness to meet halfway. Sometimes, resolving conflict requires more than logic. It needs a little faith in each other. How would you balance belief and love? Now, when I look back, I'm astounded by how this ordeal transformed us. It's a testament to the unpredictable twists of life and the power of perseverance. Could you have imagined such an ending after all the drama? It's yet another chapter in our ever-evolving story. To everyone out there navigating their own family dramas, remember, resolution often comes from the most unexpected places. Whether it's logic or love, stay true to yourself. Can you find it in your heart to see beyond the differences? It's a question worth pondering.